Hi. So, if you're a leader, when's the last time you felt like just throwing in the towel? Are you feeling frustrated with your team? Are you resigned to the fact that if you want it done or done right, you need to do it yourself? It is possible that you are engaging in some people pleasing leadership tendencies. The good news, there are some simple tweaks that you can make to really work on this. So, last week I talked a little bit about the unintended consequences that can happen when you're engaging unintentionally, usually in people pleasing leadership. And so, today I'm going to share 5 quick tips, steps that you can take to start overcoming your people pleasing leadership tendencies. I'm Kirsten Rossvogel, your team performance pro, 30 years plus, and this is today's episode of Live and Lead for Impact. All right. So, the first thing, if you feel like you're engaging in possible people pleasing leadership, is to start to collect the pain. Do I want you to be in pain? No. But as a people pleaser, if this is your tendency, it is likely that you're very outward focused versus inward focused, which means you're not really paying attention necessarily to how you are feeling. So I want you to really focus, even if you have to set timers on your phone a couple times a day to do some check-ins. But where in your relationships are you starting to feel resentments? Where did you say yes when you really should have said no? Where have you become that go-to person that everyone dumps work on? Where are you frustrated with your team and feeling just totally overwhelmed and like you don't have a voice? So the reason I say collect the pain, it's that old saying, the pain of staying the same has to be worse than the pain of the change. Humans don't like change. So if you're outward focused and deciding how your day is going to go based on how happy your team is, you're not necessarily focused on how you're feeling and how you're doing. So you're not feeling that kind of pain. And instead, you're feeling the pain of other people's stuff and trying to fix what's maybe out of your control. So build the pain, AKA focus on your own feelings, practice that. So hopefully for a short while, you'll start to notice your own frustrations, overwhelm, resentments that are building. And now you are motivated to do something about it. A lot of times when I start working with clients, just in that first week, they come back with, oh my gosh, they had no idea. So just take a quick look, pay attention. Journal if you want, write it down, or just make a mental note. All right, the next thing to do is, again, feel inward. What do you want or need? What do you need from your team? Have you been setting clear expectations for them and letting them know? Have you been a good delegator? Remember, I have the 6 simple steps of great delegation that can help you be a rock star at your delegating. But where do you need to practice looking at what you need? So it's hard to communicate it to others if you aren't aware. So the second step is determine what you want or need. The next, third step, start speaking up. So now that you have decided the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain and the fear that you have of the change, and you've taken a little quick look and decided, what do I want? What do I need? And in a leadership role, you need that aligned team that's on fire for your goals. Hopefully, they're taking initiative, using discretionary effort, really seeking to take great care of the people that you serve. So you're going to start speaking up. You're going to start making requests. You're going to start being a rock star delegator, setting those deadlines to give that call to action, etc. You're going to start giving feedback, constructive feedback. Just start with some simple things. You know, if you have a lot of difficulty in setting these clear expectations and having correction conversations, start small. Someone has their cell phone out too much. You know, just some simple things. Maybe there's just a lack of follow through. Again, you forgot to set deadlines when you delegated a task. And so the team or the person isn't making progress the way you would like. Have a quick little conversation about that. Go grab my 6 simple steps of great delegation, defeatthedrama.com/delegation. Uh, Watch that video, download the PDF to get all 6 steps so you can be a rock star at it. Um, Now, and start with some of the employees that are easier to give feedback to. Now, do pay attention though, because you want a short window of really focusing as you're practicing on talking to your rock stars. Rock stars love the feedback, they're open to it. However, if you, while you're in this transition and working on it, giving feedback, use your window is too wide for how often you're going to the rock stars to give them feedback, they're going to start to feel frustrated because they're already like bearing the brunt of non-performers. And so if you keep, and they're also the ones who like constructive feedback. They want to know how they're doing. They'll appreciate the feedback. And so they're easier sometimes to talk to. So it's great to practice on people who are more open to feedback, but just make sure the balance isn't too far off. You don't want to risk really igniting resentment in your rock stars. The next thing that you're going to do, step 4. So we've had collect the pain, determine what you want and need, communicate what you want and need. So start speaking up. Now you're going to gather your successes. I really do recommend creating some kind of list. Hopefully you'll be doing enough of it and having enough successes that it's going to be difficult to keep it in your mind. But so, start a Word document, keep a journal, do an Excel spreadsheet, but really focus again. If you've been used to being more outward focused versus feeling inward, we can also forget to feel the good things. And so really feel what it's like to give someone some constructive feedback or make a request or say no to a project or a task that shouldn't be part of your job or is too overwhelming right now based on all the other priorities that you have, or saying no to that person who's constantly waiting to the last minute to dump work on you. Really pay attention to how it feels. Start collecting those successes. I always say this is like working a muscle. So the more success you have, the more you can pay attention to how good it feels as you feel overwhelm decrease, as you feel resentments decrease, as you feel happier about your team members and your coworkers. Notice how great it feels. Because what that does is that will give you the momentum, the motivation to keep doing this work. Keep working the muscle. There are positive things happening from speaking up. So pay attention and take note. Because the next thing is going to be to start having conversations with maybe people who are a little bit harder. So start with the simple ones, and you really want to work that muscle so that you're good at it and have a lot of success under your belt. And then start talking to people that might be a little more defensive, not quite open to hearing information about how they're doing, don't like it. It's not convenient when you say no or I can't right now. So some people are going to react very well to feedback and requests, and others are not. So work the muscle first, build your successes, feel how good it is to work this muscle, get better at it, and then start communicating tougher feedback, the bigger no's, the harder no's, etc. And then 5 is build momentum. The good news is, before you know it, if you practice these steps and just keep moving forward and building the momentum, it'll just be who you are in the world very quickly. As I say to my clients in our first session, every time, you are who you are in your work and in your life. We can work on one and it'll impact both. So when I'm coaching, we can talk about life things or work things, even if the company's paying for the coaching, because people pleasing in particular, but anything around coaching, if you're getting better at communicating in general or giving feedback or setting boundaries, etc., it's going to make all of your relationships better. So start simple, collect the pain so you're motivated to make the change, determine what you want and need, do some check-ins, think about it, Once you know, now you can start with some of the simpler ones, but start speaking up. Say no where it's appropriate, make requests where it's appropriate, give constructive feedback where you need to. You can start with some easier ones, work the muscle, build the successes, pay attention to what it feels like to be successful. Then start working on some of the harder ones, the harder people to say no to, the harder people to give constructive feedback to. Continue to work the muscle, continue to celebrate your successes, and just keep building that momentum. Before you know it, your resentments are going to be gone. The overwhelm will be decreased. You'll be saying no like a rock star, and delegating well and providing feedback to your team, which is a gift that you give them. So I hope these help. Shoot me a DM. Let me know how it goes. If you have been a people pleasing leader and you start to utilize these steps, let me know the progress, the celebrations. I want to celebrate with you. And if you need some additional help, grab a spot on my calendar. It's super easy. Go to defeatthedrama.com/book call. Grab 30 minutes. I would love to chat with you about what's going on in your life and in your work. What strategies can we help build, and what are some next steps I can help you with? Thanks so much for joining. Get out there and make your own bigger, bolder impact. The world's waiting. Thanks so much.